Okay, so this is a different type of video. I haven't been posting anything. Not that anybody's watching or caring, but I have a new job. I'm working, 80 hours a week, and I just don't have the time to make the builds anymore. So I make them in parts here or there, and I don't have time to film it. But what I want to show you is a project I've been wanting to do for a while. I finally got around to doing it, and I hope you all like it. This here is the best of both worlds. There's always the great debate in the zombie apocalypse for melee weapons. Is a club or a blade better? People say blade because you can just chop the zombies up, but people say club because you can just bash the brains in. It doesn't take nearly as much skill to know how to use. I mean, it's a club. You just hit somebody in the head. So, what I have here is the best of both worlds. You have your club, you got your blade. The extra long handle, you can two-hand, choke up, swing from all the way down here. So you got a longer reach. I'll go over real loosely how I built this. I started out with a baseball bat. Started out with an aluminum baseball bat. I just cut it here. Separate the handle from where it really starts to thicken up. The bat was already hollow. I've added this rubber grip here. Right now it's just taped on. I'm not 100% done with this. So you got a good trenching club. And this is the sword blade I used. I picked it off of eBay for, I don't know, maybe 20 bucks for a 2-pack of these. They're not great quality. I wouldn't try hitting anything with them. It was more of a proof and concept to see if I could do it, and I'm happy I did do it. When I got the swords, they had a different handle on them. It was like this. A little bit shorter. It looked a little bit different on the bat. I went with the bat handle because that was the look I really wanted. I was actually very fortunate with these swords because they came apart real easy. This handle was just a hollow tube that pressured fit onto the hilt, and there's a washer on the back here held on by this nut. Inside of here, inside the blade here, there's just a metal rod welded on at this hilt. And the threaded rod goes to about here. To about there. I had to extend it with a small piece of all thread and an extending nut that I clamped down on. The bat thread was metric. The thread I used is the standard equivalent to the same size, so it's roughly there. I clamped this in with my vise, grabbed my extending rod, hammered that down real tight with a pair of vice grips, so that's not coming off. I drilled a hole in the center of the back of the bat here, and put this Egg-core nut on. Holds everything right and tight. She ain't coming apart anymore. So I was happy with the handle build. It actually came out real easy. I mean, this could have been a lot more work than it turned out to be. All I did was literally unscrewed a nut from back here. It was a different Egg-core nut, actually. I unscrewed something from back here, Took the little washer off. Got rid of that guy. Put this here. And then this was done. The handle, done. Simple. Simple. Easy. The bat portion was a little bit different. There's some kind of padding inside the bat, which is actually helping out the wiggle. So when I push the blade through, it runs into, I don't know how much padding. I can't see down in there, and I can't get it out. But the tip of the blade doesn't wiggle freely inside the hollow bat. This is just a bike inner tube I cut. I cut one slice into it and it turned out to be like 4 inches wide. I wrapped that around a couple times. I'm going to wrap it nicer once I'm done. Get some glue or something. The only real problem I had was the hole here. When I put the blade in, it just kind of fell out. It just kind of sat in there, you know? Because little round, big round hole, thin little piece of bar stock. So what I did was I found this rubber plug, which I'm glad I did, because the other option was to make something out of wood, and I am not a great craftsman. The plug's not permanently in right now either. I'm going to get some better epoxy or something. But I sliced the plug because it was too big to fit in this hole. I cut it in half, then sanded it down so it was a little bit smoother and took a little bit of the height out of it. So now it's a pressure fit. It's a tight fit. It's like like any other sword and scabbard would be. Except for I don't have the I forget what the hell they're called at the moment. Someone in the comments could, make me look like an ass and tell me. But I didn't have the blade or that part of the blade wasn't thicker than the rest of it, so I couldn't just have something in there. But now it's, it's not bad for my first attempt. It's not what I wanted when I had this idea in mind. It's not what I wanted at all. But as I was making the one I wanted, I ran into the issue of how I'm going to cut the other bat the way I want it with the tools I presently own. Because what I'm working on is a wooden one. This is what I wanted. This is much smaller handle. The all thread stuck out. Probably about there. A good couple inches. I like the tighter grip of this. I can either one hand, two hand. It's a quarter-handed blade now. I think this one's going to look a lot better. Same basic principle. I cut the bat. This one I rounded up a little bit, which is going to be the only telltale sign something's going to be different of it. I have to split this bat long ways, and with the tools I currently own, I could do it, but not with the precision that I need. It needs to be absolutely precise split. Because if you start cutting at the tip here, at the dead center, and if you're off, a fraction of an inch, a thousandth of an inch, by the time you get, 2 feet later, you're going to be all the way to hell out here. And I just can't have that. This one's not going to have the hilt. Not going to have this little hilt. I already cut that off for this one. So when this is done, it's going to look like that. It's going to look like just a standard baseball bat. I don't want anyone to ever know there was a blade in here. And you got your bat. I'm thinking about putting a mechanical release on here so I can, press and then pull And then you're going to have your blade. I originally had this idea with some of my baseball bats and this katana I got. I took the handle off, but no, this isn't the katana. This is the wakizashi, the smaller blade. And there's just too much curve in this to put into a baseball bat. So I had to buy straight handle sword, straight blades off the internet. That's what that washer looked like that I took off these handles. I could put a straight handle back on there. What I'm thinking about doing is I have a bunch of baseball bats. I'm thinking about taking the sword handle or a bat handle and putting it on here just so it has a baseball bat handle on a sword, just to give it, I don't know, just to make it look different. Everyone you know has a set of these hanging up in their fucking room. Every internet samurai out there, every mall ninja has these. And you want to be a little different with that. I'm hoping I can get around to it. I hope I can film it instead of just doing this bull crap. Well, I think that's going to be all for today. Thanks for watching.